Hello, I am a soldier on a community mission. It is frosted something on a oxidized, a very early version. This is when it looks like an industrial place. First thing I noticed is that I have a lot of cash. So I'm going to spend it on reload and firing because I enjoy being able to have more control over my rockets. I could just use the Beggar's Bazooka, but I just enjoy the stock launcher better because each rocket feels like it has more value. I can aim it, and the cooldown between firing forces me to just be more careful with my rocket. I'm using the battalion's backup because I really like the resistance. Also, you notice that pyros have yellow eyes. I noticed that when they reflect my rockets. As a soldier, you should never shoot at pyros that have yellow eyes because they have a very high chance of reflecting your rocket. You just don't want to do that to your teammates. It's not very cool of you. I didn't see that demo man that night. Seeing that demo man in the distance though, sorry about those heavies. I want to stay away from those because heavies are pretty bad when there's multiple firing at you. I'm also going to stay close to my teammates because these demonites are not so bad when you're near people. Because they're going to be fired at easier and there's a higher chance they're not going to fire at you. They're going to shoot somebody else. But I am going to come back here because, like I said, heavies are really dangerous. I don't want to get targeted by one. I might hang out up here because I have the higher ground. It's really good as a soldier. Even though I'm not doing much damage, I don't really mind because it's consistent and I'm out of the box. I'm out of the box range. I'm out of danger. And notice I'm always aiming at the ground because that way I always have a good chance of hitting bots. There's a super scout over here, so that's why I'm coming over. I should have checked which path we have. I wasn't sure. I was hoping that the Demonites would get blocked by this killer, but I still made it out alive. I don't want to take a chance with these pyros, but I'm going to blow my horn in preparation. It'll help out my heavy here. Uh-oh, yeah. It also protects me against these pyros in case I accidentally fire at one, get reflected. Even though it may be very tempting, I don't want to do it because there's just no point. I could either not fire at them and live, or I could fire at them and waste 20 seconds or so if this medic doesn't get to me. I'm also going to be up here so that I'm out of these melee scouts' range. And also so that I have a higher control over these other bots. I can dodge them just fine, I can see them. I can use these pillars to take advantage and block these heavy sight. I feel like I'm going to stay up here a lot because it's just a really good spot for a soldier. You get a good view over all these spawns. And you have geometry that lets you dodge without having to come back down. And of course, the dispenser makes it even better. I can stay up here and get healing. To see what I'm going to do here, I'm going to stay out of these heavy's range while blowing my horn. This battalion's backup is letting me stay up here a lot more because I'm taking a lot of hits, but I don't get knockback. And yeah, that was a pretty decent first wave.
Greed is good. Have a burger.
So notice I'm getting a lot of cash, so I'm gonna spend it towards, first of all, I'm gonna get this, because the more you can fire, the more damage you do. As soldier, I focus on what lets me do more damage rather than what lets me stay alive longer, which is a pretty huge contrast to my heavy philosophy, which is focus on resistances, stay alive, not so much your gun. Soldier is different. It's about your gun because you can use your maneuverability to stay alive. It makes these resistances not as useful. But anyway, noticing these super scouts, I want to do a better job stopping them this wave. That's why I'm going to get rocket specialist, and I can start getting damage.
Everybody ready? Medic!
Here they come.
So when you're playing on custom maps and custom missions, it's a lot less predictable than regular missions. You don't know, you don't really know what you're up against until you see the wave bar, and even then, it doesn't tell a complete story. Every mission maker has a different philosophy, and so the same boss can be used in a totally different manner depending on who you have at the helm. So if you want to succeed in these situations, I recommend having something that is very flexible, a very flexible game plan that usually involves the map, knowing good upgrades and what counters what. For example, this map has a really awesome train car here that I can use to avoid these direct hit soldiers. It also lets me give these guys battalions and stuff like that. Of course, another reason why I chose battalion is because it's some free points for just staying alive. I can save money on resistances because I have extra health, and it's a really awesome bonus. So noticing that, wait, it's a pyro, I mean it's a regular flamethrower, yet it has Legistinator flames. I don't know what's up with that. And that's definitely not a me thing, but it definitely doesn't seem to be able to air blast. I'm gonna get out of here because I don't like being on the floor with a lot of these guys. Soldiers are very dangerous when they're in a group, even if they can't aim, because rockets just do a lot of damage. And remember, I don't have resistances, so I want to stay alive. I'm not going to be up there for much longer because A, there's an engineer. Well, actually he's destroyed, but the teleporter is not. Well, I guess that's different. But also because we're knocked back here, that dispenser just got destroyed. There are soldiers behind us. It's just not a good idea. I want to stay in front of the bomb when possible, or at least in front of the robots. You can see that's why I got up here. It lets me dodge these rockets. I'm gonna try out this spot. No serious reason why, I just think good change of pace. But I'm gonna get back here to blow my horn because I don't want any chance of him shooting at me. I'm gonna get out of here too because he's about to be right next to me. I want to take care of that engineer, but I have to focus on his heavy. I'll be stalling his movement. And I want to get close to that heavy, but I don't want to risk him shooting me, so I couldn't give him my benefits with Italian backup. Watching for spies. So I'm going to get out of here because if he turns that corner and he has a good shot at me, then I'm done for. When it comes to giant heavies, you always want to be at least a corner or two ahead of him. Because this thing is a plow. You don't want to... Uh-oh, that's really bad. Because this map, the way it works, it isolates you. I have to go all the way over here. That's another thing. When you're playing community missions, it's more important to know the map than the mission. If you don't know the types of tricks that this map is going to play on you, then you're going to be very lost, even if you're very good with missions. Because man vs. machine is without consistency. You have to use what you're given to succeed, such as your money, your available upgrades, and in this case, your map. get out. I'm staying away from here because I don't want to get in this guy. I don't want to be in that open range against this guy. Pyro is doing a really good job circle strafing around him. But I wouldn't have done that even if I was a Pyro, because there's a very good chance that he's just gonna eventually get the upper hand. Now, if you're a spy, circle strafing is easier because you can call it off, you can go invisible, you can run, you can damage surf. But when you're something like a Pyro, you're slower and you don't have that choice to escape. You have to commit until you're dead or he's dead. Usually, you're going to be the one that's dead. Now, if you're a scout, you can totally do that more often because you have high maneuverability. You can get out of there a lot easier. So I got crew resistance because I don't like these guys. These guys aren't so bad because I can, assuming that they're regular Demonites or just Samurai, I can probably use my train cars to get out of their way. In fact, I'm not sure if there's nav mesh on there. Nav mesh is how bots see you. If you're not on nav mesh, then they're going to assume you're that you are where there was last nav mesh. But if I'm on a train car, they're not going to see me if I come up from behind or something, because they think I'm behind it the entire time. Anyway, enough yapping. I'm getting more damage because my survival situation is taken care of with these crits. I'm going to pay attention to the path this time because I got caught off guard. I thought they were going to be going this way. So this time they are going to be going that way.
4, 3, 2.
Another thing is knowing what path is active. That's pretty important. I'm going to blow my horn in the time it takes for them to come here because that's a good use of my time. I'd rather do it before they come than do it when they're on the field. I'm going to move up a bit because I have a good overheal, and if I get shot by pills, it's not a big deal. Now I'm going to get back down because I don't have that 9 backup. Resupply, blow my horn. I'm going to try it over here because I get a good shot at these guys coming from this spawn. Now I'm going to watch out for spies because they're pretty bad. This map is very dark, so it's hard to tell where the spies are or where any bot is. I'm sure that's why in future versions they made this map a lot brighter. It's daytime, everything's a greenhouse. It's really easy to see stuff. But here, the colors are very cool, very dark, which make these robots blend in very well. I can use this darkness to my advantage to tell what AI these robots are. Because again, when it comes to community missions, you're not going to know what you get a lot. So knowing the type of bot that you're up against, knowing what AI they are, can make a huge difference. Because when you know the AI, you know how well it's going to aim, who it's going to focus on, and if they're going to be doing stuff like air blasting. I gotta get out of here. I'm still watching for spies. I'm gonna try to get over here so that these guys get in range, but I'm not gonna attack. Actually, I should have gotten there, obviously, but I was a little desperate. I wanted my team to survive. But when you're a soldier, you should probably be more independent. After all, this thing here is all you need to get anything you want.
You have killed all the spies.
I don't like playing selfishly, but sometimes you just have to. The most important player in the game is yourself. It's a very weird position to take, but if you do well, then you help others do well. And if others do well, then you have an easier time playing. And that's another way of saying everybody's important, because if I'm important, then, I mean, if I say I'm the most important player, then that gives this scout a very similar justification to say that he is the best player, or he's the most important. which is just a long-winded way of saying everybody's important if you play your role well. Because you want to see the opportunities that help you let others do their job, because it makes the game more interesting for both of you. Like, I'm trying to use my battalion's backup to give this heavy assistance.
The spies are there.
And if I do that well, then my team has a easier time surviving. And when they survive more, they have more fun. You have more fun because they're going to be trying to help you out. It's a very good positive cycle. And finally, this is the end of the wave.
Completed. And quickly find an upgrade station.
I still don't know what this blue pyro icon means. I'm guessing it has to do with that phlogiston effect. Maybe it can air blast? I don't know. Icons aren't always that helpful. That's another thing when you're doing custom missions. You kind of have to rely on what you see rather than what you witness rather than what is shown to you. Wave bars can be very deceptive. But I noticed there's like very few bots here, so I'm going to be very suspicious of these demomen. And I'm just going to probably focus on these tanks, so I'm going to, one, get health on kill, because that's always good. Ammo capacity, because I had some trouble with ammo last wave, I think. And finally, you know, I got everything I want. I could probably just, because the mission gives you a lot of cash, I'm just gonna spend on this, because why not? I might as well, help my team more. Huh, wonder why he doesn't have the bomb. That's a very good lesson as to why you should always keep distance from this robot spawn. You never know what these guys are going to do. The only person that I would, the only class I'd say that should be closer to spawn than maybe this training track here is 5, because he needs to be at the spawn to deal with the robot. Also, these battalion sorters are the most dangerous robot because crit immunity is a very big deal. And he stays alive a long time because he has really good resistance. So basically you got kind of a gauntlet. If you don't take him down, then it's gonna be overly difficult to take care of the other robots. Notice right here I'm strafing to try to avoid the rockets while having access to the dispenser so I can get healed. Also, I'm in a really bad spot because I have low health. That's part of why I blew this, so that I have the resistance to my own blast jumping. And it's a really good time to have this resistance because A, an engineer's building, and B, there are a trip bots going. I felt very comfortable assaulting that engineer because I had the sentry resistance for my battalion's backup. Uh-oh. I crouch jumped there because I just want to get away from that as soon as possible. I know if more were coming, so I let the blast damage and knockback carry me away. I'm hoping to get something here. There we go. I don't know which path they're taking. Since the bombs are close to here, I'm going to assume it's over here. But I'm a little disoriented. I feel like this tank should be taken care of. So I'm just going to help this pyro. Since tanks are the only thing that are left, we should take care of them. I don't see any reason to not focus on the tanks because the sooner the tanks are destroyed, the sooner the wave ends. I'm still going to be blowing because I don't want these pyros to shoot through the tanks to give my team a hard time. And also to prevent surprises from demo knights and stuff. Alright.
Greed is good.
Gee, the first thing I noticed when looking at the wave bar is these Natasha heavies. I don't like Natashas. I don't think that being slowed down is a very good game mechanic, because in Man vs. Machine, your survivability depends on how well you can manage your movement. Heavy doesn't have that opportunity very often, so he has to compensate for resistances, but scouts, pyros, medics, soldiers, they live off of their maneuverability to get out of danger and pick fights that they'll win. But when you flap these guys on to say, no, you can't do that, because if you want to attack us, you have to get slowed, it's just not fun. It's like forcing a bird to stay in a cage when it wants to run around. I'm just gonna stack up on resistances because I don't like this wave bar, especially these soldiers.
Go, go, go!
There's a lot of soldiers, so I'm gonna get more blast damage to repair.
Ready.
Blast damage resistance, I mean. I'm not getting fire resistance because I can just stay away. As a soldier, I can rocket jump away just fine. And I had the feeling these guys, these blue flame things, they don't air blast, so I can attack them from a distance just fine. So I'm gonna use that trick I mentioned earlier with the navigation mesh to jump up here. If there's nothing on here, then the bots are gonna assume I'm over here, which makes attacking them pretty simple because they just don't see me. It's a dirty trick, but I am stomping against using these kinds of robots, so I feel like it's justified. I'm gonna help these guys. So I'm gonna do something kind of risky. I'm going to jump in, try to get the shield, and then jump out. I can't tell if I was successful or not, but I feel like that pyro did the job. Now I'm looking to get rage. Yeah, these things don't attack me, so I'm gonna stall it with my rocket specialist. Wait till I reload, and then alright, so I'm gonna try another bombing run. Very successful. I'll see if I can get these medics without them popping. Thanks to that crit, I was very successful. I mentioned earlier I shouldn't be getting as close to the spawn, and that still holds true because... Alright then. Sure, I did that. But anyway, I feel like I can manage the risk associated with getting close to the spawn pretty well, because I have resistances and battalion backup, as well as overheal. So, it's totally a gamble. My advice is only do it if you feel comfortable that you'll survive. If there's even a chance that, like, if you're doing it fine, you're still gonna die, then just don't do it. Notice I'm always staying in the air because it's very hard for them to attack me. But recognizing that this heavy's right here, I'm going to be more careful. I don't have any bullet resistance still. Well, I have some, but it's not much. So I just want to support the teammates who do a better job at taking care of them. So see this, the heavy's under the battalion's backup. I'm stalling the sniper by negating his Durati with the banner. Uh-oh, I'm out. Alright. I want ammo, but I can always reload with my campaign. So I'll do that. Got the medic. Uh-oh. Yeah, having a battalion's backup is really awesome. Also because I don't take much knockback. If I didn't have a battalion's backup, chances are those soldiers and hit scan box would have made it very difficult to get out. Now I'm back over here. And yeah, this is a definite win. Took that medic along for a ride. Even though they see me, it's not a big deal to second strafe. As a soldier, never stand still. Always be on the move, whether it be jumping, strafing, rocket jumping. Because like I said, maneuverability is key to winning in this game. Not just game mode, this definitely applies to regular Team Fortress 2. I should have blown this earlier, but snipers, you know. But yeah, not a big deal. These guys can't really do anything. That's a very big wave bar. And so let's see what it's telling me. Well, there will be quite a few common pyros. But again, they don't air blast, I'm fine. These guys aren't going to be an issue, they're melee and they're vulnerable. A lot of scouts, but I can't tell if they shoot with a melee or with a gun. A lot of heavies and a lot of bowmen, so I should definitely get bullet. Not a big deal, it'll probably be air blast. Big deal, I should definitely get more bullet resistance. And honestly, I have so much cast, I might as well just beef everything up. Not too interesting, we just have a bunch of cash to destroy everything, but better than having a little cash and being wrecked by everything. This guy's very confident. All the way up here, even though the medic's down there. I imagine he has a lot of overheal, yeah. Okay, yeah, server's lagging, so I'm just gonna blow this with preparation for what's coming. Must have been a false alarm. But still. Oh, they're gonna air blast. But not a big deal now because of my battalion backup. Even if they hit my teammates, I went back there to try to get behind them so they won't air blast. Yeah, even if they hit my teammates, it's going to do very little damage because of their resistances and all the benefits of the backup. So noticing that this has the final tank skin, I'm going to make an educated guess that the next wave is a boss wave. There we go. Now we're fine. This power basically doing no damage. I just kind of walk around now. That's just a huge benefit of having this weapon, Battalion's backup. Even though it doesn't give you much maneuverability like the Conjurer does, or damage like the Buff Banner does, the resistances are extremely powerful. I feel like this engineer would have more use focusing on these guys, but it's whatever. This tank is going to go down easily. I'd let those guys take care of it. I didn't like that everybody was starting to come over here because that means there's less people on the front. But they're so uber medic, so our heavy can do everything if he plays well, because this medic is going to just make everything easy. I'm getting out of here because my thing's about to wear off. Good thing I came to this NG. Alright, neat. So now we're in a good situation because this heavy's alive and well. I have battalions, medics alive and well. I'm gonna go over here and try to fish for more banners. There we go. Staying out of his eyesight because heavies shoot from their eyes, not their guns. And if he can, it literally means if he sees you, he can shoot you. If he can't see you, he can't shoot you. I'm out of banner, so I'm gonna come up here get something. Oh, this is complete resistance. Whatever. I don't really like back-nerd medics that have a total resistance to something, because it just tells someone that they can't play because they happen to be a certain class. I don't have as much of a problem if it's a partial resistance, like 75. But if it's 100%, it's just saying, haha, you're playing soldier, you're playing pyro, you're playing heavy. So you don't get to do anything useful. I think I'll still be able to get rage off these guys, but I still don't think it. Okay, no. Guess I'll do something else, like the Super Scout. It's hard to see it because of all this fire. Alright, neat. I'm gonna come over here to try to find more medics. Awesome. I'm gonna try to get the medics before my teammates do and pop them. Jumping to avoid getting shot. I also don't like Razorbacks because it's the same philosophy as the Vaccinator, where it just says you're playing 5, so you don't get to do your job. I do think that, yeah, there is a boss. But yeah, I definitely think that one of Spy's strongest suits is that he can get behind everything and take out support like snipers, even other spies, engineers. But you just slap a Razorback on it and say to Spy, you can't do what you were made to do. I think that's kind of counters the point of the game mode, which is that you use your role, you use your strengths to help your team win. Might as well get more ammo because I have so much cash, I can do whatever I want with it. Save a life for even longer. Move better. I'm not gonna get this because all this health on kills will be enough.
Let's go. Sound off if you're
I
ready.
definitely don't think we need this much cash. It's a little silly.
I'm ready.
I noticed the scout had a lot of damage. Wait, never mind. I thought this was a scout.
I am ready.
A little surprised because he was using a stock scattergun, which is not the best when it comes to damage. Soda Popper lets you bypass the reload and just do so much.
The final wave is upon us.
I say bypass reload because you can use clip size to get 6 shells in one go. With a stock scattergun, you have to wait. Speaking of clip size, you probably noticed I have none on my rocket launcher because the speed at which you reload is similar kind of to the speed that you fire, so I might as well just reload instead of spending extra cash to fire at a maybe a little bit faster rate. Trying to get back up here. So because of all these crits, I'm gonna get knocked around a lot. Which brings me to another benefit of this is the knockback resistance. I can just kind of sit here and I take regular knockback because crits are nullified. So they can't knock me around and be annoying. Now they can because I'm out. That's why later on when you had a giant backup, you want to have it active as much as possible because chances are you're going to be seeing a lot more crit bots. In fact, I feel so confident I'm just going to run up here and mess with these guys. I have overheal and extra health and everything's great. Scraping so that I can avoid getting shot while blowing my horn. One thing to note about Dragon Fury Pyros is that they can't air blast. They probably just don't have a very good AI, but they can't air blast, so you can take advantage of that. Combined with their short range as soldier. So you notice, even though they have a much faster projectile, they still can't hit me because I'm scraping just enough. such an awesome thing you can do. So this boss is about to spawn. I wish it would spawn sooner. Okay, we're almost done. Even better, the bomb reset to show just how little's happening. I'm guessing they have these scouts out to try to avoid that bomb resetting. And like, let's say that the bomb reset after the boss is spawned. Now the boss can't do anything because there's no bomb to escort. So when you have these scouts constantly bringing out a reset bomb, it gives the boss purpose. Huh. Never would have expected that as a shotgun. That's what oh. So it's a shotgun that still shoots projectiles? Yeah. That's what I mean. These guys really like to throw you curveballs like that. I know I said earlier, always be moving as soldier, but there's not much challenge. I can just stay still. Anyway, that has been, what is this mission called? Oh, it doesn't say. But it's been this mission. Hope you enjoyed, learned something. I will see you next time.